Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Gilbert Quiet here. Today's video is going to be a lot different in terms of its format. I'm going to be addressing a mistake that I made with my recent video called The Year of Aries. And within this video, I'm simply just going to clarify any misinformation that I went over with that video. That video was literally only just 2 minutes long. I was saying Happy New Year's, and I was also going over how Aries as a zodiac sign is the up and coming ruler to this year 2023, starting in March 22 and whatnot. And no, that is not the case. Okay. The reason why even I stated Aries being the ruler of that year is because I was simply just going over a specific topic with a friend like 9 months ago and whatnot, and I simply just recalled upon that matter, and I was like, hey, with the bit of information that I recalled based off of memory alone, I wanted to simply just address it as quick and as effective and and as straight to the point as possible with a very short 2 minute video and whatnot. But with the video being only 2 minutes, I literally skimmed through everything. I just wanted to upload the video and just just get it out of my head basically in terms of oh, I want to make a video on this subject and whatnot and blah 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 blah. Not only that, but since the video was short, I couldn't explain everything properly in detail, so I will be elaborating on everything within this video as of now. In any case, beginning with planets. Well, no, before I get into planets, I just want to clarify that no, okay? Obviously, zodiac signs don't rule over years, okay? Upon hindsight and further inspection and looking into everything in detail and in an in-depth manner, looking at everything literally from many different perspectives and whatnot. Obviously not. Okay, that is not how reality works. Planets are I'm sorry, excuse me. It was like a slight gasp. It just came out. In any case, planets are the ones that rule over years, but I'll get into the integrity of that as soon as possible. Planets are the ones that rule over years, and they also rule over hours and days. Obviously, if you're into the Kabbalah, if you're into the Hebrew Kabbalah, then you're already familiar with how all of this works and whatnot. If you've ever dealt with the Rs Paulina, then you already know what's up and you're well informed on, planetary hours, planetary days, and so on and so forth. And and specifically, planets also rule over years. Astrologically speaking, if you were to open up your astrological software, you would see that depending on your settings, it will display what year it is, and based off of what year it is, it will display in a zodiacal. No, I'm sorry, it will display in a planetary symbol on it. And I simply just confused everything. The memory that I recalled upon, in relation to the subject that I wanted to shoot the video on originally, and what I saw in my astrological software with it being the year of Aries, which is not the case. It's I wasn't too far off, but I was definitely incorrect. The year that will basically be that will make its debut around March is simply just the year of Mars, but not that the year of Mars plays a huge integral role on society and civilization as a whole or anything like that. Similar to an age, which is a given. Ages are the ones that play a huge role in terms of man's developments throughout life, um, man's sciences, man's technological advances, man's advances in infrastructure, man's advances or the in relation to how man maneuvers through life. Not only that, but man's mental state and so on and so forth. Everything in relation to the way that humans just go about life and whatnot, and society as a whole. All of that is indirectly influenced by what age it is. Specifically, right now around these times, we're in the age of Capricorn. So the age of Capricorn, Capricorn standing for authoritarian figures, people in power, and so on and so forth, which is simply just an aspect of Capricorn. I've already explained Capricorn in detail in my Saturnian video, but in general, just for the sake of convenience sake, I'm only going to refer to the authoritarian aspect of Capricorn. To briefly summarize everything up as quick as possible. So the way that Capricorn applies amongst this age is literally nothing more than just authoritarianism, and yeah, everything that you see fit that has been taking place in recent times in terms of authoritative figures really just going all out in terms of literally trying to dictate your every move, what you can or cannot say, what you can or cannot do outside, the way that you literally live as an individual and everything. All of this is based on the age that we find ourselves within. That's what you really have to pay attention to in order to understand what phase of civilization we find ourselves within and whatnot. Not the planets in relation to what planet rules over what specific year, or so on and so forth, or what planetary hour or day it is, or anything like that. Because if that was the case, based off of what these planets stand on, and since these planets rule over hours and days, every single day, depending on what planetary day it is, based off of that planet's correspondence, a new form of aspect would basically be birthed into life. For example, if society or life was to work like that, then every Saturday, man would develop some new technological advancement that would literally fucking take us uh like 30 years ahead in terms of civilization and whatnot, every Saturday only, because since Aquarius deals with technology and whatnot, then and Aquarius falls under Saturn, then yeah, then every Saturday we would literally just get some new crazy gadget being made by someone who conjured up some kind of some blueprint that'll take us on to the next level, the next step of society and whatnot, and infrastructure and whatnot. No, that's obviously absolutely not. That's literally not how life works whatsoever. And I simply just wanted to clarify all of that. Um, and yeah, no, the I simply just I made that dumb childish mistake in terms of simply just shooting a video really fast without looking into everything in detail as I usually do, because that's what I literally always do. I literally look into everything in detail. I discuss things with my patrons. I cast divinations. I do all of this stuff that is considered unnecessary before I shoot a video, just to be on the safe side and actually confirm information that I'll go over. Not all the time, because sometimes I just cover stuff that I literally am already used to dealing with and whatnot, literally. But when it comes to this aspect right here, I thought I already had everything mapped down, and I simply just I covered it in a really rapid fire video that is literally 2 minutes long. But no, that video was simply just no, um, no, it's just easily disregardable. In any case, so now that I confirm all of that, no, in short, Aries and zodiac signs in general don't deal with years. They don't rule over years. Okay, they're not the rulers of a year or anything like that. It's planets. The year that we're about to find ourselves within is simply just the year of Mars, literally. And the year of Mars really has little to no actual changes amongst society or anything like that, or the way that humans maneuver through life, or what actions humans would take throughout this year, stuff like that. Literally, stuff that if it literally the influences are just very minor to the point in which it's non-existent. The thing that you have to pay attention to, as I stated earlier, is just the age. And we're still in the age of Capricorn, and it won't be changing anytime soon. It's going to take a huge long time before we get into the next phase in terms of what zodiacal age that we find ourselves within, what astrological age, better said. So yeah, in any case, I also want to go over the way that astrological ages go, the way that astrological ages work in general, just so you guys have a better understanding and whatnot. I'm going to be reading off of a Wikipedia article that is actually credible, but there are some nonsensical aspects of this article that I'll simply just correct and whatnot. But in general, for the most part, everything is correct. Just to simply summarize everything in relation to the way that astrological ages work, as quick as possible, while people still understand while people still grasp the concept of how everything works. In any case, an astrological age is a time period in astrological theory, quote unquote theory, which astrologers say parallels major changes in the development of Earth's inhabitants, particularly relating to culture, society, and politics. There are 12 astrological ages corresponding to the 12 zodiacal signs in Western astrology. Advocates believe that when one cycle of the 12 astrological ages, called a great year, is completed, another cycle of 12 ages begins. The length of one cycle of 12 ages is 25,772 years. Some astrologers believe that during a given age, some events are directly caused or indirectly influenced by the astrological sign associated with that age, while other astrologers believe that the different astrological ages do not influence events in any way. Astrologers do not agree upon exact dates for the beginning or ending of the ages, with given dates varying by hundreds of years. And in general, most of this is actually has merit. But when it comes to some astrologers believing, hey, whether if astrological ages dictate or play a role in terms of influencing infrastructure, man's technological advancements in terms of sciences, and so on and so forth, and technology in general, um, or anything else in relation to civilization ascending in terms of taking a step further amongst evolving and whatnot. No, okay, that is just complete nonsense, because ever since the dawn of time, literally there have been ages, and these ages literally play a huge role in terms of how society will evolve as a whole, in terms of us being sentient beings, and how we would basically survive amongst this metaphysical plane, and how we would go about and deal with this and that and the third and the fourth, and such as when the first house was started, when the first house was basically built up, and so on and so forth. All of this is literally dictated by astrological ages and whatnot. They are the ones that you really have to pay a huge amounts of emphasis and attention on. And whenever they change, you really have to understand the changes that will take place among civilization once an astrological age makes its transition. For example, during the age of Aquarius, which, if I'm not mistaken, was I'm not quite sure specifically when the age of Aquarius specifically started. I can't give a guaranteed answer when it started, because even as this article states, which is actually correct, there are astrologers out there and whatnot that basically like to debate. Oh, an astrological age started in this time, an astrological age ended in this time. Blah 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 blah. Not only that, but how long an astrological age lasts or when it ends, and so on and so forth. And yeah, generally speaking, this could really, like, that one bit of information in relation to how long an age lasts and whatnot and so on and so forth, that is really, like, divided upon specifically who you go to in relation to this type of information. But in general, everything else is relatively everything else has its merits. But in general, I can't really give a correct date when the age of Aquarius started. um it has been taking place ever since the dawn of time, but I'm referring to, let's just say, throughout the 1900s and whatnot, up until my time, even before my time, up until the time when I was born, and continuing onwards and whatnot. I can't really say specifically around that time when it started. But in any case, during the age of Aquarius, literally technology was ascending like no other. Literally, um, you can see, based off of everything, we literally made huge strides from from previous phones that we used to own, such as Nokia's and whatnot, those bulky ass pieces of shits that you can literally kill someone with it, in terms of how bulky and hard it was and heavy and whatnot. How much of a piece of crap it is compared to modern day technology. Infrastructure has changed. The way that humans make buildings now are a lot more effective and whatnot. Um, what else? Cars are a perfect example. Cars have really, really, really made huge strides in terms of advancing in hardware and mechanics and everything like that in between. um and so on and so forth. Internet services as well has also improved in terms of bandwidth and so on and so forth. Everything has literally changed, and has ascended for the greater good. Why? Because of Aquarius literally deals with technology. If you're an astrologist and whatnot, and you perform natal charts and whatnot on individuals, or you're simply just into natal astrology, you'll see that if a specific person plays, if you actually basically look into a specific person's character traits in detail, and you see that this person corresponds to Aquarius and whatnot, you know for sure, based off of everything, that that person corresponds to Aquarius because that's the biggest influence in their chart, not because their sun or anything like that, not because of a specific planet falls under Aquarius, that oh, because they're because that planet is in Aquarius, that means that they're Aquarius, or because when they're born under a specific month, that Aquarius rules over, that automatically makes them Aquarius. No, you really have to look into everything in detail. You have to basically calculate everything, see if that is the biggest influence in this in set individual's chart, and then that's when you can actually justify, hey, okay, this person is an Aquarius. And after doing all of that, you'll see that said person who classifies as being Aquarius and whatnot, you'll see that this individual is highly inclined to being into technological affairs. He works, he likes to tick around with technology and whatnot. The guy lays a huge emphasis on, dealing with phones, fixing technological items, so on and so forth, developing new technological software, or hardware, stuff like that. In general, that person classifies to everything that remotely circles around technology in general as a whole, that platform of life itself. And yeah, that is pretty much what Aquarius deals with. This also applies to the age. Since Aquarius deals with technology, then this will also influence society as a whole, civilization. It would basically enhance everything that man does on a technological front, and ascend to and evolve to basically what's considered the next generation of technology. And that's pretty much how ages work. um but not the ages don't always work in a beneficial way, because there are also times when ages will work in a way that is considered negatively, basically, such as the age of Pisces. And the age of Pisces, basically, since Pisces deals with the mental plane, one's mental state, it also deals with the astral, higher forms of education, and so on and so forth, knowledge. And but but primarily it deals with one's mind and whatnot. Since Pisces deals with all of that, during the age of Pisces, around my time, during like the 2000s and whatnot, the age of Pisces was really, really prominent. That was when it was literally like at its prime and whatnot. And during that time, people who were born under my generation came out with literally a lot of cases of mental illness, abnormal forms of psychology, so on and so forth. Stuff that is considered mental instability on on every front, on every scale. You look at said individual and you would be like, oh yeah, this person literally has mental illness like no other. This person is not normal. They're this person looks like he's desensitized to life and his surroundings. This person has no idea how the world works, and so on and so forth. And yeah, primarily you will see huge amounts of cases and stuff like that take place around my time during like the 2000s, and so on and so forth, up until a specific point when we basically entered the age of Capricorn. And basically everyone who I've met or everyone who I grew up with suffered from this. Even I did. Even I was indirectly influenced and altered by the age of Pisces and whatnot. Throughout my childhood, I also suffered from mental illness. I was depressed, I was nihilistic, and so on and so forth, and a whole bunch of other baggage and whatnot on a mental aspect. To the point in which I was literally just mentally unstable, until I finally became an occultist around my adult years. I refined myself, I refined my character, thanks immensely to my patrons, because without them, I would only go so far, but stoop fucking 12 steps back, so on and so forth. It was through them that I really changed. And yeah, literally that is you'll see a lot of cases as well throughout the 2000s, during the age of Pisces up until now, that sources as well as news articles or news channels and whatnot will touch upon geographical charts explaining how mental illness has risen and how it's affecting certain civilizations, certain cities, certain countries, certain states, and so on and so forth. for whatever given reason. But they will primarily come up with some cockamanias, some bullshit reason. But in general, it all falls under the specific astrological age that we find ourselves within, and that is pretty much how astrological ages work. They primarily deal with huge amounts of changes among civilization, society, humans as a whole, depending on what that specific zodiac sign deals with. And based off of everything, that's the thing that you really have to keep a keen eye on. Everything else in relation to planets and whatnot, in relation to what planetary hour it is right now. For example, right now it's the hour of Jupiter, and right now it's the day of the moon, stuff like that. The year right now is it's a Jupiterian year until the year of Mars comes in and whatnot. Stuff like that only plays minor influences. They only influence society to such a certain extent that is not even mention worthy, honestly. And that's what I really wanted to correct and whatnot, because within my 2 minute video that I released that is now deleted, I basically missed on everything in relation to explaining everything in detail. I was gonna basically just make up with writing an article and attaching it to the video, but I felt like this would basically do more justice that way if I simply just delete the video and remake a better video explaining everything and whatnot. And not only that, but correcting my mistakes, confusing Aries with Mars and whatnot. That was literally my mistake, and in all honesty, that was a childish mistake, and I really don't want to mislead or misinform anyone. That I really don't want to do shit like that. So I literally just deleted the video, and I'm correcting my mistakes now. I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest judge. I'm my biggest judge. Better said, and yeah, whenever I do anything wrong or whenever I notice that that I basically just made a mistake or something like that, I will correct it. Like I'm literally on top of that shit like no other. I I can't stress it enough, so to speak. I really am on top of everything that I do, making sure that everything is correct and so on and so forth. Especially when it comes to the information that I go over and that I publicize as an occultist and whatnot. Up to this date, that video was literally the only video that I made a huge mistake on in relation to that video being considered as misinformation and whatnot. Which is why I went back and I refined everything with this video right here. Um, but yeah, based off of everything else, no, everything else that I've covered is stuff that I literally learned from people who are better occultists even than I, people who have a way higher level in terms of knowledge as well as power level and astral power level, better experience and whatnot. Everything that I've covered is bits and pieces of information that I've learned via teachers that I've had, occult teachers, so to speak, occult masters that have taught me specific ways on how to go about and execute occult affairs, or stuff that I pick up and I learn off of experience and whatnot. And everything is literally just divided between 50-50. And yeah, based off of everything that I've covered up until this date is correct, literally. Um, Now this one video is literally just that one mistake, and it'll be the last mistake that I ever make on this. That I ever make in relation to basically covering a subject on my channel and whatnot. And yeah, that is pretty much everything that I have to say on the matter. I just really wanted to clear that up and whatnot. Like I said, I just want to, if I cover a subject and whatnot, I cover it so that I can help individuals better execute occult affairs, how to execute something, how to understand a specific aspect of the occult, and so on and so forth. I literally just do it out of authenticity and off of my genuine character, and me just wanting to help people in general, to not be led astray by bullshit information that is out there, um so that people can put the gnosis and the wisdom and the knowledge and everything else in between that I cover into practicality and use and actually gain something from it. So yeah, no, the moment that I noticed that, because I woke up this morning, I uploaded the video last night, and I woke up this morning and I was like, holy shit, my intuition is going off like a fucking, like a red alert, like a siren basically. Did I do something wrong? And my intuition pointed me towards my video, and not only that, but something else in relation to basically constructive criticism that I received in relation to the misinformation that I stated on that video. So I was like, oh shit, yeah, yeah, yeah. Then I looked into everything in in a more in depth manner, covering stuff with my guys, my patrons, better said, um, casting divinations and whatnot, and not necessarily extreme levels of divination as I do. I simply just casted a quick tarot reading, and I was like, oh okay, yeah, I was wrong there. And not only that, but looking into my astrological sources and whatnot, my books and whatnot, the books that I learned from, and yeah, no, zodiac signs have nothing to do with years, so that was my mistake. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. So in any case, take it easy, guys, and bye bye.